Today, I want to talk to you about a strategy to pay off your debts as fast as possible. If you have a significant amount of debt, you probably want to get rid of that debt ASAP, right? Still, a lot of people struggle with debt, unfortunately. That's why we wanted to create this video to help you take your first steps in that journey of becoming debt-free. The key to drafting your own personal strategy is understanding the full scope of your debts, for which I will give you a few powerful tips. We'll go over what you need to think of when you're making a full list of all your debts and how to find room in your budget to put towards paying off your debts. After that, we'll dive into the different methods of paying off your debt, such as the debt snowball and the debt avalanche method, as well as go over the different options of debt relief available to you. Ready to get rid of your debt ASAP? Let's dive in. To draft up a strategy of getting rid of your debts, first it's important to understand the full scope of all of your debts. To do so, you want to go through all of the different creditors you have and collect every piece of relevant information you can find. To start, collect the most recent credit card statements from all your credit cards. These will detail your current outstanding balances and the minimum payment due, the interest rate, and any other important information. Then you want to do the same with all of your other loan statements. Think personal loans, auto loans, student loan debt, and even your mortgage. And if you happen to have any outstanding medical bills, note the original amount billed and the payments you've made so far, which will give you your current balance on them. When you have all the documents ready and the details ready, it's time for you to create a comprehensive list of all of your outstanding debt. You can quite easily do this in a Google Sheets or Excel document. Details you want to note for sure are the name of the creditor, the account number, the original debt amount, your current balance, the interest rate, and the minimum payment due to avoid any late fees. Then when you have your list ready, it's time to move on to getting crystal clear on your financial situation to check out how much money you can comfortably put towards paying off your debts every month. This is basically taking a cold, hard look at your money that's flowing in and flowing out of your bank account every month. And it could be smart to group all of your expenses because that can help you find room in your budget. The goal is to find ways in which you can potentially cut back on spending to free up money to put towards your debt. Here's a good way to do so. Open up your banking app and go to the last full month. Let's say, for example, everything you spent in June of 2024. Then ask yourself things like, how much did I spend on housing this month? Now, expenses that go here like rent or your mortgage payments, property taxes, utilities, and everything else that's related to your home. Other questions can be, how high is my current phone bill? How much did I spend on groceries last month? And how much did I pay for transportation? These are all pretty much essential expenses, although there might be some wiggle room too. Now it's time to move on to expenses that might not be as important. A big expense that goes into this category maybe things like subscriptions, Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO, Amazon Prime. And you also have to think, what other personal expenses did I have in that month? Like, did you spend any money on clothes, going out to dinner, going to the movies, gift for friends, haircuts? You also want to think about how much money did you put towards savings and investments, such as Roth IRA contributions, emergency fund contributions, and any other investment accounts. What you want to do is go through all your expenses and group them into absolutely necessary, can't live without them, and then on the other hand, not that necessary, might survive without a month or two of buying these. If you have taken note of your income and all of your expenses, you'll see how much you have left at the end of the month and how much you've overspent. If you have money left over, good, we can use that money to pay off debt. And if you see it you overspent, you might want to take a closer look at your unnecessary expenses and find ways where you can cut back. But even if you had money left over at the end of the month, there may be wiggle room to cut back and free up even more money to put towards repaying off your debt. Are there any subscription services that you don't use that often? Spending too much money on clothes without even realizing it? Or maybe you're eating out a lot more than maybe you might have thought. The goal here is to be honest with yourself. And trust me, I've done this before. It doesn't feel fun, but it is necessary to free up money in your budget if you want to get out of debt ASAP. When you have the amount of money that you can use to pay off your debt payments, it's time to go back to your list of debts. With this money, you get to have a choice as to where you put it. There are a few debt repayment strategies out there that we can use now. You can use the snowball method, which means that you're paying the smallest balance first and working your way up the list until you paid all of your debt off. In theory, paying your smallest debts first and working your way up will give you the momentum and motivation to keep going, especially when things get hard. The avalanche method of paying off your debt. Trying to get rid of debt with the highest interest rate first is often a good idea, since this debt is the most expensive because you'll end up paying more in interest over time. Then you can work your way down the list. If you, for whatever reason, can't seem to get out of debt yourself, you can reach out to debt relief companies. These companies are more than willing to help you get rid of your debt. Debt relief companies offer different types of debt relief, each one of them suitable for a unique set of circumstances. One of the debt relief options they often offer is debt consolidation. This means that you're getting a debt consolidation loan where you combine multiple debts into one single loan. This not only makes managing your debt easier, it could lower your monthly payment and interest rate too. Another popular debt relief option is debt settlement. Going the debt settlement route entails getting an expert from a debt relief company to negotiate with your creditors on your behalf to reduce the amount that you owe and the interest rate on your debt. With debt settlement, that often includes the debt relief company managing your debt repayment for you. In most cases, you'll set aside a pre-specified amount of money and deposit it in an escrow-like account. Then with the funds in that account, the debt relief company can make payments to your creditors on your behalf, with your approval, of course. Want to know about the differences between debt settlement and debt consolidation and find out which option's best for your situation? Check out the video on your screen where we dive into specifics. If you don't see yourself getting out of debt yourself, and you also don't see yourself going through the debt settlement route or the debt consolidation route, you do have the option to file for bankruptcy. If you want to know the different types of bankruptcy, check out the video on the screen where we dive into the details. Whatever debt relief option is right for you, it really depends on a lot of different things. The state you live in, your level of income, your current credit score. If you're not sure which route to take or which strategy to pick, you can always consult with a debt expert who can help you decide which is the best way forward for you. Remember, there is no shame in seeking out help to get you back on track financially. Let's start the journey towards a debt-free life. After watching this video, I hope you know exactly what you need to do to get crystal clear on your debt situation and find room in your budget in order to pay off your debt and the different debt strategies available to you. And remember, if you ever find yourself struggling with debt and you're actively thinking about seeking help, debt relief companies like National Debt Relief are there to help you. If you have any questions or would like a free, no obligation debt relief consultation call, visit their website at nationaldebtrelief.com. If you happen to have any other financial questions, check out the other videos in this series on National Debt Relief's YouTube page. Again, it's our goal to make very complex financial concepts that you hear every single day. We want to make them easy so you can transform your financial life. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.